So for the first time in a while, I went to the movie theaters to watch the movie Weapons, and every like 20 or 30 minutes or so, I would have this urge to check my phone, but not to check it and like scroll through any other apps. I just had the urge to check my phone because I just wanted to see what time it was or how much of the movie was left, which is crazy because the movie was so good and I really enjoyed it. But I realized how often I do this when I'm watching movies or shows at home. I'm always watching something and I'll have the urge to do something else while I'm watching it. And it doesn't have to be going on my phone. It could be like while I'm watching the show, I'll be like, okay, maybe I can cook something. I know a lot of times on this channel, I do a lot of experiments to try to restore my attention span to what it was before I had my phone. But sometimes I still fall back on my old habits. And one of those things is I can't really sit down and focus on something for a very long time anymore. Getting through a movie is so difficult for me without checking my phone a couple times. And most times I'm checking my phone not to even check anything specific. I just check it to check it. I check it so that I have something to do while I'm also watching the movie, which is kind of hard to explain. It's almost like when I'm focusing on one task, I always have the urge to be doing another task. And so things like long form media is very hard for me to get through, even though it's something that I genuinely enjoy. So I thought that for the next week, it'd be nice if I just consumed long form media. But before we start, I want to talk a little bit more about the term slow media. So what exactly is slow media and why is it important, especially right now? According to Wikipedia, slow media is a movement focusing on the pace of media production and consumption in the digital age. I think this term originally came from the book Slow Media: Why Slow and Satisfying is Sustainable by Jennifer Ranch. I have not actually read the book, but I have read some blog posts about the topic and I can link them down below if you're interested. However, for the sake of this video, I would like to offer my own take on this. I'll be focusing mainly on slow media consumption. How I see it is just a way of being more intentional with the things that you consume. And in consuming more intentionally, you'll find that your inputs and outputs of content become a lot slower. And the overall quantity of things that you consume get a lot smaller as well. It's not the most efficient, but it definitely is a lot less overwhelming and in the end, a lot more fulfilling. I use long form media and slow media interchangeably in this video, but they're not always the same thing. Short form videos can also be a part of your slow media consumption. But for the sake of this video, I just grouped them together because with my attention span these days, I'm not able to consume long form media unless I set the intention to do so. And what I mean by long form media is either watching a movie or watching a show or a video that's over 30 minutes. And obviously I will be reading books as well. What I'm going to be doing with music is for the day, I'll pick an album. I'm just gonna listen to the album, but also no skipping songs, no going back to a song. If I want to listen to it, I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. I think that might be the hardest one for me, but I feel like this will be good for me. And so why is this important and why do I care about the slow media movement? Personally, I think it's important because the amount of content that we're exposed to in this day and age is absolutely ridiculous and extremely overwhelming. Our feeds are made so that they never end. The amount of content coming out every single day is impossible to keep up with, even in our own little internet bubbles that we're a part of. I'm obviously adding to the mass amounts of content that exists on the internet, but I think it's important to remember that it doesn't always have to be so cut and dry. The slow media movement has practices that you can incorporate into your life whenever you're feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated. And when you want to indulge in some slop garbage media every once in a while, feel free to do so. At least that's how I view it. When we introduce new habits or ways of being, it can be really hard to sustain if we go to extremes, especially if it's a trendy movement. When the hype eventually dies down, it can be really hard to keep it up. But without any further ado, here was my week. Good morning, it's currently 10 a.m. I'm about to go to the gym soon with one of my friends. I got up at 6 today because I want to try to give this early morning routine another go. A lot of things that I used to not like, I'm starting to like now. I'm hoping that getting up early is one of those things that I used to not like, but will end up liking now that I'm older. What other examples do I have of things that I like but I used to not like and could never see myself liking? Honestly, just like rain and fall. That's a huge... I feel like that's a huge development in my character. God, I used to hate fall, but for some reason I don't think I'm gonna mind it this year. I honestly think that it might not have been fall. It might have just been my mental state. I guess I'll tell you what I've been up to these past couple months. I've been trying to get my certification for something, but I won't say what it is yet until I actually get it because I don't want to jinx myself. So most of my days have just been studying. I've made a nice morning matcha. Sometimes I think about matcha and I'm like, do I even like matcha or do I like it because it's green? Green is my favorite color. So this morning I was watching Twin Peaks. This is one of the shows I watch while I'm also doing something else like cooking or using my phone. And that has definitely caused me to miss some key moments in the show because this morning I was watching it without any distractions and they were mentioning things that I don't even remember happening. Every episode is about 45 minutes and I think I'm enjoying it so far. Is it the best show I've ever watched? Probably not, but the vibes of the show are what make it so good. For reading, I'm currently reading Dracula. Another classic. I think I like it for the vibes. Is it the best book I've ever read? Probably not. My album for the day is, by the way, by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm sticking with my comfort choices. I already know that I like this album. I feel like slowly I'm moving to a place where I am happy with the things I'm consuming. I think my issue is just with how choppy it is. Like I'll start a series and then I'll not finish it, or I'll start a book and not finish it, or I'll listen to a couple songs off an album but I won't finish it. And I also just watch a lot of like random YouTube videos, which once in a while is fine. I feel like my ideal split for the things I consume is like maybe 70% intentional and 30% just like random garbage, or even like maybe like 80-20 would be a good split. Anyways, that's it for now. I will update you tonight and I'm gonna get ready to go to the gym. See you soon. Alright, end of day one. So after I went to work out, I went to go eat with my friends, and when I came back I just did some work. I don't think this has been as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know, I feel like the hardest thing about this was the fact that I just had to listen to one album the whole day. I know I said I liked that album, but there are some stinkers on there, and while I was working out I just wish that I could go back to a song that I liked. When I am studying and I'm occupied with stuff, I feel like I'm not that distracted anymore. I don't want to say that I have a super healthy relationship with my phone because I feel like on average my screen time is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours depending on the day, which is not bad. I think that's actually pretty decent. Like compared to what it was a couple years ago, like I'm actually pretty happy with 1 to 2 hours on my phone. If I'm using Google Maps, sometimes it goes up to like 4 hours. What did I spend my time on today? 41 minutes on Spotify. That doesn't make sense. I think I started this challenge thinking that my biggest hurdle was going to be the YouTube videos. I think my real hurdle is focusing on one task at a time. Even while I was doing work, I wanted to listen to music at the same time. And I know for a fact that when I'm listening to music while I'm trying to study, it does not work. Even if it's a song without lyrics, I'll start like humming in my head. It's not like how it was a couple years ago where if I didn't watch anything on YouTube I would feel like actually irritated. Anyways, I am getting sleepy, so I'm gonna go to sleep and I will see you tomorrow. Hello, so it actually has been 2 days since I've recorded anything, or 1 day. I skipped yesterday. I feel like this doesn't really need a daily vlog. I don't know, my life is kind of boring these days. I'm literally just studying. I would love to be one of those people that could vlog their days, but I don't know, like my days are just like the same things over and over again. So any variation in my day either comes from like going out with my friends, or sometimes I run with my friends or my family. Sometimes I'll go to the gym. While I'm home, I'll either just like watch something or I'll play my instruments, but I've been addicted to Twin Peaks. I know I originally said that it's not the best show I've ever watched. I still stand by that, but season 2 is so good. And now that I'm like really focusing on just doing one thing at a time, I'm actually like into the show now. I haven't been reading as much. I've just been watching my show, which is why I'm saying, is watching long form content instead of short form content really that different? I'm still like watching stuff, but I guess it is a little bit better for my attention span. I'm still like having the urge to check my phone. Sometimes I'll be watching the show and I just want to search up the actors and the actresses. Also, update on my sleep schedule. I could not keep it up. I woke up at 9 today and yesterday. I was just too ambitious the first day. 6 a.m. was too much. A little update. I had to watch a couple shorter videos because I'm thinking of getting a little mini camcorder and I wanted to see the test footage for it. So I wasn't watching it for entertainment, just for research purposes. Update about the music. I actually really like listening to just one album a day. I'm obviously not gonna do it forever, but what I used to do with albums, I know this might make me sound like a psycho, but a new album would come out and basically what I would do is I would play a song and I would like skim through it to see if there's any parts that I liked. If I liked it, I would add it to my liked songs. Rarely would I ever play an album like start to finish unless it was an artist that I really liked. The amount of songs that I realized I actually liked on these albums I've been listening to for years now, there were a lot of them. I don't think I missed YouTube that much. Lately, all that I've been doing on YouTube is just scrolling through the homepage. I don't know if anyone else has been doing this, but sometimes I'll put on a YouTube video when I eat. And I'll be scrolling for like a good 5 minutes just looking for a video to watch. And sometimes I swear scrolling to look for a video is more satisfying to me than actually picking a video that I want to watch and watching it all the way through. And most times when I'm watching videos, I don't ever finish them. And I was talking to my friend the other day and she was just talking about like doom scrolling. Most of the stuff that I consume, I barely remember what I even watch. Like most of the YouTube videos that I watch regularly, I forget about them so quickly because I'm consuming so much. I think that is mainly where the long form content beats out short form content. Most times it like sticks with you more. So I don't use YouTube on the app anymore. I use it just on the web browser. But I remember when I had the app, I would play something and it would be so satisfying for me just to like put it into like the mini player and like scroll through the homepage. Or I'll scroll through different people's channels while like the mini player is playing the video. I would barely watch the video that I had playing and I would just doom scroll. Which is crazy because like I'm not actually even consuming anything. I'm literally just like looking at the thumbnail and the title and going on random people's channels and just like looking. I hated doing it, but I just couldn't stop. So yeah, that is my update so far for day 3 of not consuming any short form content. I probably won't update this every single day, but if I have any new thoughts, I will let you know. So, see you soon. Alright guys, so today is the end of day 4. Me and my friends went to a vintage market and then we went to a wine bar. I actually didn't have any wine because I was driving today, but I did get something from the vintage market. So I was on the lookout for a brown leather bomber. This is actually black, but it's worn out to the point where it kind of looks brown. It has a nice faux fur collar. I usually wouldn't buy fur or leather unless it's vintage or thrifted. So this was a great find for me. I just don't really know how I'm gonna style it. I probably would wear different pants. I like how there's pockets here and here. Anyways, this has just turned into like a week in my life video. How do I feel not consuming short form content? I feel like days when I'm out and busy, there's no urge to even be on my phone. So I feel like the key to not consuming a bunch of garbage is just to keep busy. And I don't think that's healthy all the time. I definitely think that you need time to relax, but if you can find things to fill your time, being off your phone is really not that difficult, which is obvious. I don't really miss it that much, to be honest. I think shorts are good sometimes when I'm searching up like a quick tutorial or if I want like a quick recipe, but most times I don't think it's needed or necessary. For music today, I wanted to be a little bit more adventurous, but I wasn't because I ended up listening to Norman Rockwell by Lana Del Rey. I don't know, she's just so fall. TIFF was going on downtown today, so a bunch of people were there for that, which is exciting. I need to decorate my room. This is my wall right now. It's super bare. I have a dried bouquet here. Yeah, I would like to decorate this more. I got this beautiful frame from the thrift store, but I don't really know what to put in it. And I would like to have it somewhere here. But the only thing is, it looks too much like my wall. I feel like I'd have to get like a gold frame or something, but this silver frame is just so pretty. Look at it. Good night, and I will see you soon. I ended up ordering a video camera from Japan. After like months of research, I finally picked one. The only thing is, because I got it from Japan, the language settings are only in Japanese, but I think I can use a translator. Also, I got this splint for my hand because I think I'm getting early signs of either carpal tunnel syndrome or tendonitis. Oh my god, last night I went over to my cousin's house and he made my brother and I a hojicha latte. It was so good. I actually think I like the taste of hojicha more than matcha, so that might be my new drink. He also, oh, he's so sweet. He gave me a whole package of the powder from Japan. I honestly think I just drank it because I like the taste of it. I don't think the caffeine content really does anything for me. Caffeine usually doesn't affect me. It actually makes me sleepy. Anyways, here we are. I'm a little nervous. I trust the guy though. He was very nice. Okay, it's cute. I feel like Japanese people really take care of their products. I am a grab and go type of person, so like I'll like throw this in my bag, which is not great. It's good because it means I'm using it, but honestly, like I don't think I could ever resell any of my cameras because of the way that I treat them. This literally feels like it's brand new, like look at it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play around with this and I will see you soon. Come here, Garth. We've been babysitting. Come here. Little baby Garth. He is adorable, but a menace. He's always suspiciously wet and he loves water. Okay, so I'm on my new camera. I freaking love this fisheye lens. It's an attachment that the guy who sold it to me gave me. It makes the camera really bulky, but I just love how it looks. Like you can see my entire room and I can be so close to the lens and you can still see me. That's not flattering, but so update on the video watching. I did watch a couple guitar tutorials, but I think one of the rules that should be changed is I can watch a video if it's intentional. I feel like that will be a rule that I'll set for myself even after I finish the week. Sometimes I'll go on YouTube not even knowing what I want to watch, and I'll just go on there so I can scroll through my timeline and pick a random video, or I'll just scroll because it's fun to scroll. I think short form videos are good to watch if you're intentionally seeking them out. Just going on YouTube so I can find a random video to watch, not the vibe. I think I need to get my strings changed. I say, maybe I'm just bad at playing. I think I'm developing the carpal tunnel on my right, but I feel like if I keep on playing, I'm gonna mess up my left wrist too. I'm only like just learning bar chords, so they've been kind of terrible. I've also been trying to learn the Santeria solo. I should just practice this one part. Play so clean. I swear I was better at this when I was deaf. Is that just because I couldn't hear myself properly? Like when I was playing before, I was like, I'm actually getting somewhere. That's enough for today. Please don't mind the way that I'm looking right now. It's been a long week. I'm a little bit sick. Somehow the week is still going on. But as the week comes to an end, I would like to offer some of my tips for having this be a lot easier to incorporate into your life. My first tip is to figure out what you want to consume before you actually get on the site or the app or whatever it is that you're watching your thing on. And the more specific that you can be, the better. It doesn't have to be super specific, but having an idea of what you want to watch really helps. Create a watch list, create a to be read list, consume videos from your watch later playlist or your subscription box. Honestly, anything to get you away from scrolling aimlessly on like the homepage. My second tip is kind of an obvious one. Keep busy with either hobbies, friends, or projects. Having a wide range of hobbies almost gives you no excuse to be on your phone. I have hobbies for days where my energy is a bit lower, and I have hobbies for days where my energy is a bit higher. When there's so much to do and so much to learn, you realize that it really does not make any sense to be spending most of your time scrolling through your phone. I hate to be annoying like that, but it's honestly true. Getting into different types of hobbies was one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Keeping busy by hanging out with friends. I would say I have like 3 separate groups of friends, and this past year I've been seeing each one of them maybe at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, and I can't tell you how good that's been for my mental health. I feel like once a week you just have to connect with some friends. It's actually non-negotiable, especially now that the weather's getting colder. You need people and I love being around my people, so. And finally, keeping busy with projects. I read a quote somewhere that said, "The antidote to consumption is creation." I don't know exactly where I saw it, so I can't credit whoever said it, but I couldn't agree more. This kind of ties into hobbies. When you're pursuing a hobby, it can lead to creating a project, but that doesn't always have to be the case. I just like projects because it gives me an end goal and some sort of tangible thing at the end of whatever you're doing. I just feel so accomplished when I have the finished product, even though it doesn't have to be something that you share to other people. It can just be for yourself. So the next time you feel like you've been consuming too much, try making something instead. It feels good, I promise. My third tip is to learn how to get comfortable with the silence. This kind of ties in with my next point. When you're going on walks, ditch the music. When you're doing the dishes, ditch the podcast. This is hard for me as well because whenever I'm doing anything, I like to have some background music. But I realize how much I stopped listening to the world. Not to get weird and annoying and deep, but there's so many things that make up an experience. Sometimes when we're doing something and you add something on top of it, it's hard to actually appreciate the moment. I'm a big walking and listening to music type of person, but sometimes when I walk in a forest and I'm not listening to anything, there are so many things that I'm able to notice and so many things that I'm able to appreciate because I'm not distracted by something else. I know that this doesn't seem like it relates that much to the slow media movement, but honestly, reducing the noise and how much noise is coming at you at once can really help you get used to just consuming a lot less. I know it's boring, but it's a great practice. Like, you don't have to do it all the time, but every once in a while, go on a walk. Don't bring your headphones. Go for a drive and don't turn on the radio. No one really listens to the radio anymore, but don't put on your music. Most of my creative ideas come from moments of silence, and lately I feel like I haven't really been giving myself much of an opportunity to just think. I get that sometimes when there isn't any noise to distract you, sometimes our mind goes to places that we don't like, but that's just a part of being a human. You can't drown out your thoughts 24/7. Sometimes we need the silence so that the things that need to come out, come out. My fourth tip is to focus on one task at a time. This one is really hard for me, and still after this week I know I'm gonna struggle with it. I'm always trying to kill two birds with one stone, and because of that I feel like I'm never 100% focused on anything. It leaves me very dissatisfied with the things I create. It leaves me dissatisfied with the things that I do, and I know this is something that's gonna take a lot of effort, and I'm gonna have to catch myself a lot of times and remind myself that I should just focus on one thing at a time. But if you are mindful of it, I feel like this is something that can get easier and easier. Again, like the last point, this will help you slow things down. Alright, so my week of consuming slow media has ended 2 days ago. I know that when I do these challenges and these detoxes, I don't consistently keep up with what I do in the video, but I think at least once a month, it's good to have a week where I'm mindful of what I'm consuming, because it really does reset things for me. Prior to doing the week where I was only consuming slow media, I was just watching a bunch of random YouTube videos. I think I'm getting back into watching movies and shows. And now that the week is over, I definitely will still be watching YouTube videos, but I think I'm gonna invest more time into watching things I actually intend to watch. I have such a big watch list and I have such a big to be read list, and I do think I want to spend more time consuming that. Even with music, I listen to a lot of albums I've been meaning to listen to. These past couple days I've been listening to Radiohead, and I listen to them here and there, but this time I was actually able to sit down and listen through the whole album, which is really nice. Was I able to fix my sleep schedule? No. I also did not read that much, which is something that I wish I did more. I've been playing my guitar more, which is nice, and yeah, it's just been a good week, and even after the week, I still feel good about it. So overall, I think I'm happy with the things I've been consuming, and I'm happy with my relationship with the things I consume. Lately, I've been debating hopping back on Instagram. Do I want to hop back on Instagram? I don't. But things are looking so different in my life now, and if I actually want to pursue something creative, I think it would be best for me to reactivate it again. Even though the thought of it just makes me, it makes my skin crawl, but I don't know if that's because I'm just so comfortable here now, or if it's actually something that I shouldn't do. I worked so hard to repair my relationship with my phone addiction, so it feels like I'm just going backwards if I ever do get Instagram again. But I'm just so conflicted. I've had this conversation with so many people. I love being offline, and I love not worrying about people knowing too much about me, but lately it's gotten to a point where I feel kind of stagnant, and I feel like I'm just in hiding. The moment I decided I wanted to pursue something creative, I had to brace myself for how hard it was gonna be without my socials. And I've really been trying to make it work these past couple years, but it's just been so difficult. Sometimes I meet people and they'll be like, oh, how can I connect with you? And I'll have nothing to connect to them with. And sometimes I'll give my number, but even then it's hard to see somebody's work through their number. And it just makes things so much harder. And I think I'm at the point where I might have to actually reactivate it. And that makes me sad. But if this is something that I want to do with my career, I'm gonna have to do things that I don't always like, and I'm gonna have to do things that I'm not always comfortable with. But that's just where I'm at right now. And I thought I'd let you know. But yeah, that's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.